Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Winner Circle Sports Betting Podcast. Sean Higgs coming at you here on, Tuesday the 19th? As always, Chirimbes and Matt Fargo. Join me talking some college football action. We'll get the 3 free pick winners in a second here on the YouTube channel here. But before we get to that, hit the like button, notification bell, subscribe to Winner Circle Sports Betting Podcast. We got daily free pick videos, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Friday's a live show. Friday's live, 1 o'clock. Mark Lawrence, Victor King. Saturday, Chips on, Paul Bovey, Doug Upstone. I believe we got not Doug Upstone. Jim Feist, I believe Scott Pritchard's going to be joining you, right? Is that the so another new face on the channel here. Right. If you caught the live last night, Matt Fargo was with me for a while. We're talking some NFL props last night in the Monday night game. We hit a couple of them. And we also were talking some hot stove baseball and Chip loves baseball. Too bad Chip wasn't there because we're just going. We can talk baseball. Right. I don't know. I like baseball's my favorite. I don't know. Maybe because it's the longest sport and it's just literally. I don't know. I mean, it starts now, right? We got awards, and then again, I'm not gonna get all on baseball here. Obviously, I like it more than the NBA in-season championship that they run in November. But college footies today, free picks here. Visit our sponsor, gamblersWORLD.net, where you can find all 3 of us plus everybody else I just mentioned. And our premium plays. These are the free picks. Okay. Yesterday we go 1 and 2. It happened. But you know what? If you went to Gamblers World, they got on board with Chip Chirimbes yesterday, went 3-0 in his NBA. Not too bad. The guy's on 11-3 run. Gamblers World, $99 college hoop specials up right now for 7 days. The packages, 3 738 packages, all guaranteed to show you a profit, or we credit you back, and you can use the same capper. You go somebody else. There's a leaderboard right there. I don't know what to tell you. Win, lose, it's all transparent. It's not. Hey, here's on the site. I tell you to take the Giants, and then you see me on Instagram or TikTok or something. I'm saying, no, you take the Jets, and we're giving on 2 sides. It's not like that. We can't hide the picks. They're all right there. Win or lose, folks. GamblersWORLD.net for all of our premium content. Matt Fargo, how'd you end up doing last night on your play in the Cowboy Texans game?
Horrible. I went contrarian with your Cowboys, and it was one of those games where they were down 17-10, kicked the field goal, took the points off the board,
tried to get
kept going, and then they 4th down they missed it, and then the game was over. And then
Well, I didn't want to hit you with a loser. I could have said maybe you did better in another sport. We were talking NFL last night, and they said, I got a big play, go get it, get the Monday night winner. And well, you know what, folks? We win, we lose. I stayed away from the game. I wasn't really interested as a Cowboy fan. I thought, where's Trey Lance? But no.
We talked about that last night. I'm surprised we didn't see him. Why didn't we see him?
Why would I know Cooper Rush threw for 355 yards. He's awesome. We got a quarterback controversy brewing in Dallas, right, Chip?
I don't know. They have no quarterback. How could there be a controversy? It doesn't matter who plays. It's sort of like the Giants.
You're not a big Tommy Cutler fan coming in to take over here?
That team, I'm telling you, Matt, you may have been disappointed. I was very disappointed. I thought coaching had a lot to do with the loss last night, aside from the lack of talent. But I just don't see Dallas. I think they're in trouble for a long time. I mean, they don't look good at all. They don't look like a good football team.
Well,
is Mike McCarthy a good coach?
No,
I don't think so.
No,
I think he's got plenty of flaws, especially during the game. His decision making, I think, it needs a lot to be desired.
Like, will he get hired next year by any team?
No.
Who should hire him?
I agree. I agree with that. Nobody, right? I agree. The dude's had 11.
You got 1 Super Bowl with Rodgers. Right. You cost him. I remember because I had Seattle, and I'm like, oh my god, no, that's a lie. I had Green Bay in that Seattle game where it's like 4th and 1 from like the 2. They're kicking field goals instead of being up like 28-0. It's 17-3 and end up losing the game. He's a terrible coach. He got as far as that team was all Aaron Rodgers. People would laugh at Aaron Rodgers now. He's not that great. Well, for 10 years he was awesome and carried that guy. And then you bring him here.
Right. You put Andy Reid on that Green Bay team. Aaron Rodgers has 4 Super Bowls.
Oh yeah,
probably.
I mean, come on.
He's
terrible.
He's still slipped a lot. There's no question. But when I see Rodgers, aside from him being a little bit slower, when he releases that ball, there's just something different when he throws that ball. I mean, it's just still even though he isn't, I don't think he is anywhere near what he used to be, but he still looks
40.
like a great quarterback out there to me.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, we compare Rodgers now with the Jets to Hall of Fame elite Rodgers. I mean, it's not the same. He's not the same guy. It's like Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. He was throwing the ball into the ground. He couldn't throw it like he used to be. You know, it's just he had a little better coaching, everything else around him, whatever. Neither here nor there. Mike McCarthy's trash. They hired him because he's a guy who's going to come and do whatever Jerry Jones says. Do I blame Dak? Listen, Dak got hurt. He looked like trash before, but no running game. You can't have Ezekiel Elliott as running. He wasn't good enough 2 years ago. Now he's older, and he's going to be the guy. He had one carry last night. Remember, we were talking about his rushing yards. It was 12 and a half. Like 12 and a half. This guy,
right. We talked about that. Exactly, yeah.
He had one carry for 8 yards, and that was in the fourth quarter or the end of the third quarter. No running back. He had 2 offensive rookie linemen, and he had 1 wide receiver. And a new defensive coordinator who's runs a whole different defense than what was dominant the last 2 years. Because you see Quinn's doing that in Washington. Right there. Mike McCarthy should be canned. It's not going to happen. They're hamstrung with a huge contract. I mean,
it won't happen midseason. I mean, he's fired one coach midseason? Who was that? Who did he fire?
I don't know.
Midseason.
That was Joe Anzalione or somebody. I don't even know. Probably back in like the early 2000s. Quincy Carter quarterback.
I love the fact that he's loyal, but at the same time, it's like you got to do something now. Don't wait. You know what I mean? Like, just end it now.
I mean, we could turn this into a whole Cowboy conversation because I could go down that. That's not a problem.
Yeah, right.
Let's talk about. We're going to go to Chipper here. We'll talk about some heartache here because I had you'll be looking at the late game on Friday night, 10 o'clock Eastern kickoff. UNLV, you're running Rebels out here against San Jose. I had San Jose the other day. I'm getting 14. I had 14 and a half on one side. They're up 21-0. Feeling good. It gets late. It's tied. They're down. All right, I'm still going to cover by a half. A pick 6 with like a minute and 30 to go. And then you get down to what? The 1 yard line you couldn't button. I got nothing to say about this game. What am I going to say? I can't. Please take it out of my hands, Chip. Give me something to smile about here on a Tuesday morning.
Well, UNLV is 8-2. They're bowl bound, and they're a completely different program than what we've been used to over for eons. Really, I've been out here for 35 years, and I haven't seen a Rebel team this good. And they are good. They're averaging 5.7 yards a rush. They're 7th in the nation in rushing, 249 yards. San Jose seems to give them a lot of problems. They've covered 8 of the last 10 meetings. I like this Rebel team. I really do. And I got off to a great start, and they were covering big numbers. But San Jose seems to have a little something over the Rebels, and I think that they're going to be good enough to cover. Now, if you want to compare offenses, UNLV is 42nd in the nation, and believe it or not, San Jose is 43rd. They're just a hair behind them. But in scoring, there's a big difference. UNLV is 7th in the nation, averaging just a hair under 40 points a game. And Jose gives up 20 or more to defense than do the Rebels. So if you look at the stats and you look at the numbers, you would have to be inclined to take UNLV. But you know what? The intrinsic qualities here and the fact it's later in the season, UNLV is where they are. And I think they're probably going to eke out the win, but I don't see them covering the number. I'm going to take San Jose.
San Jose plus 7.5 for Chip Chirimbes here for Friday night's game, 10 o'clock. San Jose plus 7.5. You mentioned like UNLV improving. New coach comes in. I mean, we talk about coaching in the NFL. How about college? This guy comes in and they're winning 8 games. I'm with you, though. I kind of lean San Jose. I'm a little disappointed in the way things went down on Friday. Payback here for UNLV. I don't know. San Jose has their number. They've won 4 in a row. Matt, what do you think on this one? Good.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, you can look at past history. You know, San Jose's won the last 4 meetings, whatever, but past history is past history. Dude, that San Jose State game against Boise was just a horrible beat. They were covering the whole game, right? And it's like, and then you have to lose by 21. Are they down in the dumps? I don't know. I think they'll get back up for this game. UNLV's had a great year ever since their quarterback left. They haven't really missed a beat.
Right.
But 7 in the hook, Yeah, I think I'm with the Spartans on this one too.
And the funny thing about this, I'm sorry. Funny thing about this is last year they had a totally different starting quarterback who transferred out, and they had a great
Right.
season. It was a blockout season, and now they're on the second string this year, who's probably even better than the kid originally starting. But that was kind of something about he claimed he wasn't getting his cash, so he left school in the middle of the season. That's kind
Yeah,
of
and now is the kid from last year is now at USC.
Yeah.
One on Saturday.
Wow.
Well, the guy who left after their fast little 2-0 start or whatever, they had 3-0 start. Well, they're 8-2 now, fella.
Right.
I don't know what kind of payday you're going to be getting. I don't know. That's just
Right.
me. San Jose plus 7.5 for Chip Chirimbes here. Again, free pick from Chip. gamblersWORLD.net for the premium stuff. We'll talk about that in a minute. Matt Fargo will be looking at Temple and UT San Antonio. You had a little San Antonio last week. Slight difference on the total. Last week it was 72, and that was the winner last week, man. You catch that over there. 15.5, 55.5 total-wise here. Man, I look at this one, this Temple team, 18 and the last two games. Probably why this isn't in the 70s, because the Roadrunners, are you kidding? 48, 44, 45, and 38 their last couple games. That's pretty good offensively. I don't know. 15.5 total, 15.5 is the spread, 56 the total. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I like UTSA here. Owen McCowan has played great the last few games, and this is a must-win for them. They need two wins or one win to become bowl eligible. They're at Army next week. This is their last home game. I just think it's a great spot for them. Temple coming off a win and then fire their coach. What kind of message are you trying to send there? You know what I mean? Like, you come off a win. Like, are they going to respond? No, they're 3-7. They're not bowl eligible. They have nothing to play for. And this is a really tough spot for them to go into. I think the line of scrimmage is a huge thing here. Temple is awful with their own running game. They're awful against the run. And I think the Roadrunners would just bash it down their throats from the line of scrimmage in this game. And it's a big number, but when you can control the line of scrimmage, you can easily cash a number this big. And I just think, Temple, they're 2-5 ATS when getting double digits this year. So they've covered the two games as a favorite. Granted, they were 1.5 and 2-point favorites in those games. But as a double-digit dog, no, I don't like them here. I think UTSA gets it done and becomes bowl eligible.
Okay. Taking San Antonio minus 50.5. And again, you look at them on the road, 52-6 loser, 56-34 loser. I mean, UConn 29-20, still a loser. Right. And then Navy 38-31, Oklahoma 51-3 Oklahoma. That's a weird. As bad as Oklahoma's been, they put 51 up on this Temple team. So you're going to get 40 plus here out of San Antonio. And Army next week. Listen, they need the 6th win. They got to get that here because that's not a gimme next week against Army. So this is a spot for them. Not the final home game. It could be the final home win. So I'm with you on San Antonio here minus 15.5 for Matt Fargo. Chip, what are your thoughts on this one?
My thoughts are, how did Temple ever win 3 games? When you look at the set, they must have played Yeshiva 3 times. They're 0-5 on the road. And, last time when these two teams played, Temple had 542 yards. They are a lot different team this year. They're averaging 19 points a game. They're giving up 35 points a game. Now, San Antonio, the Roadrunners, that's a pretty apropos name for them. They're averaging 451 yards this year, 31 points a game. I don't see how San Antonio gets beat here. Temple, I think they just ought to stay in and pray on Sundays or Saturdays because they're not going to win here. They got no shot.
Well, E.J. Warner is now in Rice. He's down the road in Houston here. So that is the quarterback who had nice 5 touchdowns last game, but he's gone in Temple. Again, you look at these scores. At least it's basketball season. Where's Shaney? Fire up the troops. Even if it's on a basketball court, come here, yell at these guys. Although I got a nice 80s, 90s reference for you people out there. San Antonio minus 15.5 for Matt Fargo. San Jose plus 7.5 for Chip Chirimbes. I have a Friday night game, 8 o'clock kickoff. Michigan State, 13.5 points over the Purdue Boilermakers, total of 48. Man, oh man, Purdue. Like what? 1-9 straight up, 2-8 ATS. talk about a horrific season. I looked at some of these scores because, like, I had Michigan State last week, and I had them. They were +3, went off at -1 or +1. I'm like, nice little number. I'm feeling good about myself. Nothing. Ambushed out the door. Terrible second half. So I'm like, do I really want to lay this number with this team? And it's not even like their last home game. They got Rutgers after this, so it's not even like, hey, we'll do it for the fans. They can do it for the wins, right? They want to get into a bowl spot. They got 4 wins. They need some wins here. Purdue, 49-10, 45-0, 26-21. Okay, 35-0, 52-6, 66-7. They scored 49 in that game against Illinois. I'm just I don't know where that came from because they needed 49 in all their other games against Big Ten teams. I'm going to lay it here. I'll lay 13.5. I was thinking maybe an under, right, because they don't score.
Right.
But Michigan State, this is a spot for them to actually have some offense. As much as they struggle, I'm just going to lay the points. Under could be a spot as well here because the way Purdue's been. But I'm going to go 13.5. Maybe it's the proverbial low-hanging fruit, right, because of the scores we just said. 49-10, Penn State, 45-0. Is it going to be like a Northwestern 26-20 that close? I don't think so. I think not that the season's lost and they're not – you're getting trucked. Do they really care about going to Michigan State and playing a close one? I don't know. I have no idea what's going on in Boilermaker land. Probably more pumped up about tonight's basketball game against Marquette here than they are about this football game in their football season. But I'm going to lay the 13.5 with Michigan State. New coach, quarterback, big time, bad defense. Maybe they have a little shine left in them, have a good outing. I'm going to lay the 13.5 for Michigan State. We'll go to Chip. What do you got here, Chris?
When a team opens the season winning 49-0, you must have a lot of, I would say, anticipating a decent season out of them at least. But since the opening game against Indiana State, is that the Sycamores? I'm not quite sure.
Sycamores, yep.
You're right? Okay. They've lost 9 in a row, only covered 1 of those 9, and they're averaging 17 points a game. Sean, you said about how they're low scoring, and I would want to take Purdue other than the fact that they are as terrible as they are, but Michigan State's only averaging 19.4 points a game as well, giving up 25, like you said. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. What bothers me is that the Boilermakers are giving up 39 points a game. You read off those scores against the Big Ten opponents. They're giving up 50 points. The game against Illinois, they blew a big lead. They had a huge lead against the Illini and ended up losing that game. But I would play the game under. I was actually going to tell you that I like Purdue a little bit, but the more you look at the game, it's so hard to take them. I think you may have the right side here, Sean, because Purdue is that bad, and Michigan State is no prize either. They've lost 6 of their last 7, so laying it with them is hard for me. I'm going to play under.
You mentioned the 17 points a game. 49 came in 1, so if you take that out, right, it's going to drop it, exponentially for them here. But. Right. Matt, what do you think on this one here?
Yeah, like normally this is a spot where I would take Purdue. They lost 4 in a row against a number. And I like going contrarian and against those streaks because you get some value there. But man, you can't take it with this team. You just cannot. They're so bad. They've beaten 1 team from the FCS. That's it.
Yep.
And Michigan State, they're in the same boat. They've lost 3 in a row, failed to cover all 3 of those games. Yeah, I think the Spartans are the play here. They have to win out. And would you say they have Rutgers on deck, right? So these 2 games are definitely winnable to get to a bowl game. And what Purdue is thinking right now, who knows? Like their season's done. They can't score, and they give up so much. Mm-hmm. So I think Sparty is the play here.
Yeah, I mean, I hate laying it because it's not like they've been an offensive showing out themselves. You look at their scores; it's like 16, 10, 17.
Exactly.
I mean, again, 32 versus Iowa. 10, 7, 19. And again, not to throw the Purdue out there, but not scoring against Penn State or Ohio State, they're way above your pay grade. But even these guys, 16. The Boilermakers lost 50-49 to Illinois, and you lost 38-16 last week. So that's the kind of thing when I see a 38. I hate, I know some people say, well, Team A beats Team B. They could beat Team C because Team C beat B. I look at it as you put up 49. These guys put up 16. And yet we're a 2-touchdown favorite. I'll go a little, I guess, contrarian or however different kind of look at and grab some Michigan State here. But for the show, Michigan State minus 13.5 for me. Underdog San Jose for Chip Chirimbes plus 7.5. Matt Fargo likes UT San Antonio minus 15.5. These are the free picks here. Hit the like button, notification bell, subscribe when when we do all of our free pick videos. They come up, you get notifications, you're ready to roll. If you want the premium stuff, again, free is free, but if you want the better picks, head on over to gamblersworld.net. Matt Fargo, he's there. He's got you covered. NFL, college football, NBA. I don't know if he's dealing in any ice, but
no ice for me. No ice.
There you go. I mean, listen, ice for me. I think I'm like 4-7 in ice. Although I don't know, did the Sharks win last night? I did have an ice game last night. I didn't even check to see my ice matchups last night. They end up winning. Look at that, 5-7 in NHL. There you go. I'm 5-7 in NHL. But on the flip side, I love college hoops almost as much as basketball. And number one on the site here, Gamblers World, 57-41. That's 58%. Not too shabby. Chip Chirimbes is on an excellent, 11-2. Is that good, folks? I don't know. Pretty darn good for the NBA. Nothing but action from Chip Chirimbes. NBA, college football, NFL. Again, use the leaderboards at gamblersworld.net for our premium stuff. And 3 730 packages guaranteed. You know that. College hoops package, $99 for a week. Can't beat that. Now, I can't beat this day in sports. I'm hoping I'm gonna guess. I shouldn't even guess because when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me, Chip. But I'm hoping there's going to be this guy won a so-and-so Cy Young or MVP down the road back in the day in this day in history.
I've got one of those, and it's kind of a unique experience that it did happen. But let's go back even further. 1932, named Joe Kursella, Kersella, scored 71 points in a college football game for Carlsville. 11 touchdowns and 5 extra points. 71 points. In 1961, a guy by the name of George Blanda threw 7 touchdown passes in the AFL for the Houston Colt 45. No, at that time it was Houston Oilers. And at Jefferson Stadium in Houston, they beat the New York Titans. The Titans at the time were 49-12. They beat them, and Art Powell, the only all-star the Titans had the lone touchdown. In 1978, this is a day you guys might remember. There was the miracle at the Meadowlands when there was a butt fumble, the last play of the game, Larry Zonka, and Herm Edwards picked the ball up and scampered 31 yards for a touchdown. That was a unique thing because the Giants had the Eagles defeated and beaten. The Eagles went on to win the Super Bowl right there. It was also called a butt fumble miracle at the Meadowlands. 1984, here's your MVP selection, which has been announced, and it was Dwight Gooden at 20 years old, the youngest MVP in the history. Rookie of the year. 20 years old, rookie of the year. I'm sorry I said MVP. That wasn't it. And this date in 2019, I had to bring something up in basketball. Sooner or later, LeBron James completed a triple-double. Calm down, boss. A triple-double against every team in the NBA. He completed that. So, you can't, there's certain things you can't help, and dogs are one of them, and the other one is Indians turning into Guardians. It happened 3 years ago today. And that's all I got for November 19th.
LeBron, I think LeBron triple-doubles versus every team, I think, is pretty darn good.
What did you say? Yeah.
That's a good stat right there.
Yeah. It's sort of random, but it's pretty cool. It is pretty cool. And back in 1978, I was 8 years old. I remember that Joe Pisarcik fumble.
Yeah, that was a big to do in New York. That was for sure.
Yep. That's why I became a Giants fan.
And but as a matter of fact, that was the first day that my sports service, the A play had been monitored by a guy named Mike McCusker, and we actually did cover that game, even though they got beat because they were getting like 4, and I think they lost 19-17, something along those lines. But Herm Edwards, who says you play to win the game, is a guy that kicked a field goal from 6 inches to tie the game, and they lost in overtime. So Herm Edwards.
Chip was pre-internet gambling, doing write-ups in 1978 in November. I was 4 years old.
There were no write-ups then because the internet hadn't been upon us yet.
Yeah,
it was all phone work.
All phone work. They get into the payphone bank. You guys have a phone bank here? Where's the phones? People don't even understand to say, if you told somebody to drop a dime today, they wouldn't know what that even means.
Right, for sure.
It's like the movie The Hangover when they go to Vegas.
Yes.
And he's like, do you have a phone bank?
Any pager service in here? Sports pagers. Boy,
well, that was the last time Mike Tyson knocked anybody out. That's for sure.
In what?
In The Hangover.
In The Hangover?
Yeah.
Right.
Didn't he punch somebody out?
Yeah, Alan.
Yep. Yeah, he knocked Alan out.
That's his last knockout.
All right. Well, this 3-man wolf pack's gonna wrap it up here on Tuesday. Listen, Michigan State minus 13.5, San Antonio, the Roadrunners minus 15.5, and San Jose plus 7.5. 3 free picks from Matt, Chip, and myself. We'll be back tomorrow with Brian Bittler and Chip Chirimbes talking some more college footies. Be sure to come back. For Matt, Chip, and myself, have a good day. Good luck. Take it easy, folks. Bye-bye.